Now that was more like it. That was beautiful to watch. Fun, entertaining game. Crowd going crazy. Loved it. Jays win 9-0 over the New York Yankees. And it's a good start to the mini homestand or the last 9 games of the year, however you want to look at it. It was a good start. Let's start with the pitching. Brian Mitchell didn't look 100%. Went 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs. Only 1 was earned, but he walked 4 guys. And Francisco Liriano, I mean, other than the first inning where he had a little bit of trouble, he looked pretty darn good. 6 innings, 3 hits, no runs, only 2. He had to walk 2 guys, but with only 3 hits, the odds of scoring a lot ain't too much. And 6 strikeouts to go along with that. I gotta say, Liriano's been really good as a Blue Jay. His ERA, he's 2-2 now with a 3.35 ERA. To put that into perspective, that's better than Marco Estrada's season ERA. I know it's kind of screwed that way. He obviously hasn't pitched as much as Marco, but to put into perspective how he's pitched, he hasn't pitched that bad at all. He's been very serviceable. Obviously, pitch counts get kind of high with him, and he loses command at some point, and things happen with him. But overall, he has pitched very well as a Jay, and he pitched very, very well today. And there's so much to talk about. I mean, the bats were there. Devin Travis 2 for 4 with 2 runs scored. Donaldson went 1 for 4. He scored 2 runs. He had They had the dinger to make it 9-0. It was a 2-run shot. He also walked once. He looked pretty good. Edwin, he went 1 for 3. He had an RBI and he scored 2 runs as well. But I think and Bautista with the RBI double after they intentionally walked Edwin was so sweet. How many of you actually I know we kind of say Bautista, he kind of takes the wild swings. He's kind of a player that takes too many pitches. But I think I was one of many people who were like, I have a feeling Jose is going to hit something here well. Maybe whether it be a home run or a single, he's going to get an RBI somehow. Because he loves moments where people either want to face him like this situation, or they, throw at him on purpose or something like that. He always makes them pay. And he did. With the RBI double, and that was nice. Russell Martin went 1 for 3 as well. Troy Tulowitzki, he's my MVP for the game. Yes, the pitching was great. For the bats, though, Troy Tulowitzki was the man. He got it all going. Getting that RBI 2-run single, 2-out 2-run single. I'm going to make sure I say that because 2-out hits, as we've said, have been really, really tough to come by, and it was good to see it today. Early in the game, too. He also came up later with another one. And it was just 2-run singles, 2-run doubles. It was beautiful. Troy Tulowitzki, his line is 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs. His average does not tell me anything the way he's playing. He's hitting the ball so hard. 2 of his outs, I know one of it at least. One was, I think it was a ground ball double play. But the other one was a ball hit fairly well to center, but obviously it was caught. It wasn't hit too well, but it was decent. So he's making decent contact. Saunders doesn't play too well. He walks once, though. Melvin Upton comes up and gets a single. There you go. Maybe it really is him versus lefties, because James Pazos was obviously in the ball game at the time, and he comes up and gets a hit. It was a great job, great piece right back up the middle. Kevin Pillar goes 2 for 4. He looked good, and Ezekiel Carrera. Oh man, he looked good with his bump base hit. And the single right after Pillar earlier in the ball game, looked very good. Man, Zeke really does have that bump base hit down pat. If you watch that in slow motion, the way they showed it, it literally touched the bat, and right as it did, it's out of his hands, and he's already booking it. Like, a lot of people make sure it gets down and then start running. It's gone. It was beautiful. He beats it out, no problem. And that kind of starts another rally. That was the hitting, and they were really good today. What was that? 13 hits, 9 runs on 13 hits. That's what we like. That's what we like to see. I'm not sure what happened there. All right. Benoit comes out in the 7th, obviously because it was a 3-0 game at the time. You want to lock it down. He comes out, gives you an inning, walks 1 guy. No worries. Gets out of the inning. Brett Cecil. And let me talk about him. I tweeted this out. Brett Cecil, as much as people, myself included, were ripping on him earlier in the year, he was not pitching well. He wasn't throwing strikes. His fastball, when it was there, was not in a good spot. Curveball, he couldn't really throw it for a strike. Now, he's throwing strikes. He's getting swing and miss stuff. He had a strikeout today in a clean inning of work. Dropped his ERA to 3.93. Remember when that was like north 5.5, and we're all like, this guy's garbage. He's been really good lately. Denny Barnes comes out in the ninth, goes a clean inning. Ball game. Beautiful. Mwah! Boston wins. Baltimore is tied, and Detroit wins. Son of a... Hey! But the Jays did their job. That's the way we got to look at it. We're forcing these other teams to win, right? We're not... If you don't look at the opponent's scores while the games are going on, that's what I'm trying to do. I mean, obviously they give you updates on TV, however, but I'm not looking up the scores for the Baltimore game, or the Detroit game, or the Red Sox game. I'm just watching our game, focusing on our game. If we end up winning the game, all right, let's check out the other teams. That's the way I'm doing it. It's a lot less stressful, when you see the Jays winning, and then you're like, come on, other team. No, you just worry about your one guy. And it worked today for me. I was less stressful, but it was still a great game to watch, as the game was a low stressful game. It's a fun one to watch, and let's hope we keep rolling. Let's hope with this offense and the good pitching continues to roll through. All right? Tomorrow is a 4 o'clock game. It is not a 1:07 start. It was news to me today. But it is a 4:07 start. Marcus Stroman versus CC Sabathia. Again, that's a winnable game. If we can have the good Marcus Stroman, we have a good chance of winning. And of course, I'm going to the ball game. I don't know how many times I've seen Stroman this year. I'm going to say 4 or 5 times. Probably 4. But, it's ridiculous. I don't think I've seen J Happ. But, Marcus Stroman, if we can see, like I said last time he started, if we can see the Marcus Stroman where he keeps the ball down, movement on his curveball, really the key is keeping the ball down for him. Every time the ball is up in the zone, it gets hit hard. But every time it's down, and that slider, curveball, whatever is nasty pitch he throws, if he can throw that for strikes as well as sweep it out of the zone, he'll be dealing. We just got to wait and see which kind of Stroman we see. Now, as we said in the last video, we're not sure what's going on with Sunday, if Michael Pineda and R.A. Dickey are the 2 starters. I'm pretty sure it's going to be Pineda. I'm not 100% sure, and with Dickey pitching in the 1 inning the previous game, I'm not sure if he's going to be taking the mound. And in the finale, actually, they do not have it posted, so I can't say anything about that. So, it was a great night for the Jays. We gained ground on some teams. Not really. But we did our job. We won 9-0 against the Yankees. We pushed them down. If you got to think of a positive out of this, even if, all the other teams win, you've got to look at it from a standpoint of, what? The Yankees were kind of fighting on for their playoff hopes. With the Jays win, it really hurts those hopes. They're now 4 back of the wild card. They've lost 2 in a row, and they're 3-7 in their last 10. That's tough, man. When you're battling in a stretch where you got to win ball games, that's tough. And now the Jays are 5-5 in their last 10, with obviously winning today. So they're just trying to get their wheels going into the final series against Boston, or even into the playoffs. But the way I'm looking at it now, maybe you guys should look at it this way as well, because it's kind of keeping my head together. I'm not looking at the division anymore. Boston has, if I'm not mistaken, a 5.5 game lead. Yeah, it's 5.5. As much as there are some games to go, there are, 3 here, 3 there, that's 6. There's 9-10 games remaining. 5.5 games is tough to make up in that spell, especially with a good team there. I'm not looking towards that. What I'm looking towards, if the Jays can continue to win and get home field in the wild card. I know we don't want the wild card 1-game knockout, you're gone. No, I'm not worried about that right now. All right? A lot of people were saying we're not even going to make the playoffs. Let's prove them wrong. Let's get into the wild card, get the home wild card, because it's huge for this city. Being on the road in Detroit or in Baltimore, whoever comes in first if we don't. It's going to be tough to face them. Being at home at the Rogers Center for one game knockout, basically a game 7 or game 6 or whatever you want to call it, the place is going to be going nuts. I'd like to see it. We got to look at it from I mean, if we end up finding a way to crawl back in the division, then fine, great. But don't get your hopes up. So, that's going to do it for this video. That's just my opinion on that. Hit that like button if you enjoyed the video and enjoyed the ball game. Hit subscribe if you really like the video and you're excited for the home stretch of the season. And Twitter's going to be down below. Follow up. We had a little talk today. I keep forgetting to tweet out and it's just so sidetracked by the game. But interact with me. It's fun to talk to you and comment what you guys thought of the ball game. We'll talk to you guys tomorrow night after I get home from the game. See ya.